Okay, hello everybody, and welcome to this sort of a special stream, a test stream. What I'm going to be working on today is designing a short adventure. I'm looking to go for one or two, maybe three sessions, but ultimately up to the players. Adventure uh, set in sort of an afterlife. Now, what that means, I don't know yet. I just have some basic ideas, which you can see over in the left-hand side here. Right about here. So that document sits behind my screen right now, and I will call it up on my screen to reference it, but you can see it all the time. Now, let's run through it. Basically, what I'm looking to have here is a level 1 party start off. They're dead. They show up in the afterlife, and they have to take on this big bad evil guy, which is going to be an astral dreadnought. Well, you may be saying that an astral dreadnought is a little tough for level 1s, and that's sort of the point. They are going to die. However, when they die, they start back right at the entryway. They keep their level, they keep any new abilities, and they don't keep their loot though. They basically goes back to a start position. The town goes back to a start position, sort of like a Groundhog Day or a Live Die Repeat. Forget what that was called originally, but that movie in any case. But what I need to do is build the town. We need to flesh out the big bad evil guy. We are going to also maybe need some motivations for this astral dreadnought, give it a name, something that also goes to the players. Now the players should have, I want them to either have two ways to solve this problem, either obviously through combat. However, given the difficulty of it, that could take a while, or maybe through finding backstory, finding a non-violent means will also be an option as well, ideally. So, some more about the mechanics. I put the level up information here. Or so. So leveling up will happen every other incarnation, I'm figuring, maybe every third. We'll see how that goes. Might need to do a little play testing on here. Just to keep it going along, part of my intent is for this to be an adventure for new players. So it will get them used to not necessarily the leveling up part, but the concept of leveling up, the concept of not necessarily needing to murder hobo your way through a situation, exploring the town, exploring various mechanics, basically seeded in with as many interesting things and really basic concepts of. So to that end, something else that is sort of a mechanic of this particular situation is that I want the level up system to be as simplified as possible. Now, if you have, I have some experienced players who want to run through this. They don't need the skill tree, but I basically want to have a basic skill tree where there's like 2 branches per class, just to simplify it for new players, so that go through it, we can level up quickly. It also helps with the pacing. People really kind of have a will need to know what they want to do going into it, or trees. So we're going to be developing the setting, the town structures. I need to design a quest giver. We need shops, NPCs. We need that big bad backstory. We need a general knowledge base, and in general training events or activities that will allow characters to progress, because they go into this town, they're looking for information, they're looking for jobs to earn cash. They'll keep their cash upon respawn, forgot to mention, so to better equip themselves, things like that. So let's get started. Let's start with a general idea of what this big bad evil guy. I know this is a big clutter over here, but we'll deal with that momentarily. We've got the there, that'll be nice. The story template maps this. We don't necessarily need that at the moment. This not need, and we do not need. This will be our settlement template. So we've got some things to think of. I think this should be a small town with few districts. We'll deal with that. Maybe two, maybe no districts at all. Maybe basically a little plaza. Here are our story elements. Now, NPC. Let's get a look at this Astral Dreadnought here. We'll get started. By the way, please chat. This is being broadcast on both YouTube and Twitch. Both chats will be able to go back and forth. We'll be able to see each other. So Twitch, your chat will be broadcast to YouTube. YouTube broadcast to Twitch. So hopefully you just won't be able to add each other, but we could sort that out. So let's get right. So we're looking at this Astral Dreadnought. Here's what they look like. This is our big bad evil guy. Now, I put this. Let's down, bring it down. Good enough. Now, so let's take a look at this. This is a foe from Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes, or Fomotos as I like to call it, which is a newer release. Source content here. I know it had a history before. We're going to need to tweak it a little bit as well. Just looking at some of this backstory, hubris, they're giant, they're huge. I could hopefully that grid's still on this one. The grid is still on. If I throw this into the combat tracker, by the way, I'm just using Fantasy Grounds because I have some of this in there, and it's just here. Put it in here. This is Abandoned Encampment map from Map Hammer. Fantastic maps. Check it out. And this is about how large it is. So as you can see, it is a gargantuan, I believe, is class. So that's a 4x4. It's a giant creature. Kill that up again. Awesome. And we'll unlock it here. So some of what we're looking at, yeah, it's intimidating. There's a whole bunch of flavor. Eats and sleeps if it desires. It does not require air, food, drink, or sleep. That could be potentially important. Anybody who wants to work on that at all. Let's see. So it is gargantuan. You know, it does need a name. Like I have one viewer at the time, so please feel free, if you are able, throw something in the chat. Let's get a name going. Get some names up. Anti-magic cone, that'll be fine. Not looking at the astral plane per se, although admittedly I'm weak on the astral. But it's not like an it's like a between plane, if I or maybe it is. D&D. It is the space between the plane. So this isn't exactly an app. So I think we can get rid of this. That's interesting. This dungeon visit, I think, is fine. Although it may cause problems. Not cannot from within, otherwise indestructible. Yeah, so the problem with that is the character doesn't die in it. They just end up there. That doesn't. I'm going to actually get rid of that. Well, hang on. No, it does have legendary. Okay, so we're going to leave that there for reference. But it's not going to eat anybody. Okay, 3 per day, which will be fine. Distance, weapons, sever silver cord doesn't attack. Oh, that's I think that armor is fine. Hover, a hovering creature, or it's good. Anything about hover in? Need that. Well, actually, it should be able to communicate. Once again, I am actively monitoring the chat here. If you have any input, please, 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 please. House size. Okay, now, important points. Flesh out the backstory of this. So, my original thought with this Astral Dreadnought is the Astral Dreadnought is actually going to come into the town, or at least on the outskirts of the town, every night. And I should be searching for something. I think maybe its motivation is that it has lost something. What that would be, I don't know. Here, let's open up a note here. Not backstory. I'm gonna keep notes behind space. It'll just so let's see here. I want every night. But not there's an A in there. Approaches the town and appears and searches for something. Let's put some brackets in here for things that are variables. Okay, I don't know how long this should be. Anybody got any thoughts out there? Showing 2 viewers. Who are we looking at? One on YouTube too. Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you. Please, please, please feel free to take part in the chat. I'm actually going to try to open that up just in case there's anything going wrong with the restream chat relay feed. Hang tight, please. Live streaming. Okay, awesome. So I have that chat up as well. Excellent. I think maybe okay. Let's have it. Lives in a cave in the outskirts. Let's put this ahead, actually. Every dreadnought approaches the town and searches for knights. Damage. Alright, now let's think about that. Would it think gotta be like some sort of significant item? I kind of want to, I don't want to say humanize, but I want to give this dreadnought a bit of a backstory, or a bit of personality here. Oh, I have a notification. About that. Alright, let's see. Lives the cave. Wow. I never know how much you rely on those little red squiggly lines until they're not showing up. Some knights causing great structural damage. Obviously, folks want that gone. Let's say is a tour through the magical items, shall we? 14 pages. Can be bigger. Axe, harness, wondrous item. Oh, that sounds good. Oh, that's the apparatus polish, right? Yeah, that's not yet. Bag of devouring. Oh, well, that's interesting now, isn't it? I don't think that's what it's going to be looking. Of the Mountebank. Anyone's got has a pronunciation on that? Has dimension door. Okay. Carpet. Actually, let me load up the rest of the modules. They may have item. Dark. Delver. Guy. Foes is loaded. In case the PHP has anything. Maps. Space. Something showed up there. That's good. That'll work. Hold tight. Getting some Discord, maybe some communications here. Nothing important. I also have some Discord conversations going here, so we might I might take feedback from that side occasionally as well. I'll just be monitoring my notifications, so sorry about that. It's I promise it is potentially germane to the task at hand. Sweet. So more items. Bagpipes of illusion or scribing. Does the dreadnought play the bagpipes? I like that idea. I don't think we're gonna go with it, but I like the idea. Let's see here. What else is happening here? Bag of beans. Of quarter-pound beans. Exploding beans. I have exploding. Beads, belts, boots. Does it fly on a broom? Probably not. Crystal ball, though. Now that has some potential. Difference here. Telepathy is communication. So maybe it is mute. Maybe it can understand? Let's see here. Let's see, don't need a question. Okay, or brew sites. So maybe somebody in the town stole this. Maybe the quest giver stole it and wants you to make it go, or the party in any case, to make it go away. Let's see here. Miscellaneous notes. Quest giver stole from the dreadnought. Reminder. Don't think. Okay. So I'm thinking telepathy. A crystal ball of telepathy has this. What else we've got? You know, it's a big old creature. Oh, but it swallows weirdly. God. Okay. All right. Maybe. All right. So here's a thought. What if the quest giver and this dreadnought are like childhood friends somehow? Like they've known each other for literal eons, right? Because this is like the afterlife. And what if the dreadnought, or no, what if the quest giver stole the ear horn of hearing, so now the dreadnought can't hear anybody, can't hear anything? That's interesting. Okay. Just like an old man's prank. All right, let's summons. Yeah. Rules to determine. Shots high. What we got? Oh, that's just a fake eye. Like, just turn into Let's just turn. Toggles. What is this gold statue at? Good. Alright, so that's augury. I don't think that'll really fit. So that's basically a multi-bag of holding. Hat of Vermin. Okay. Oh, that's I don't think that thing's gonna be blown anyway. Fortress, though. That actually could have. So on the side. This thing were to use an. There's no. However, excuse me. Perhaps we can alter this. Maybe this is a more substantial ancient fortress, huh? Mobile home. Yeah, okay, so that which spell can the okay. So let's put that as this home and just move on without it. And perhaps there's a large. Well, see, that breaks down the idea, right? So if there's a large fortress in the middle of the town, very clear where it is, so we wouldn't be. All right, well, we'll table that one. That kind of like the idea of the fortress, and maybe the quest giver could be like the mayor of the town, and have somebody posted inside. A party could lure that person outside, speak the command word, find that out. There's some investigation go on. So I do like it from that aspect, but at the same time, it kind of kills the dreadnought motivation. So we will. Pardon me, just gonna relax a little bit here as we go through the list. Once again, if you are in the chat, check out the basics. We're designing a short adventure. Our chat's pretty dead right now, but I do want this to be collaborative. So if you have any ideas, thoughts, concerns, throw them in the chat. YouTube and Twitch chat will be relayed to each service, so feel free to chat with each other as well. Okay. Marvelous pigment. Is it a painter? Oh, interesting. Okay. Inanimate objects or terrain features. Or weapons that are up to 10,000 cubic feet. Okay. Let's see what they're saying there. Like the rooms and stuff. But that's just a hilarious ordering there. Oh, hang on, looks like I might have something on Discord here. Nope, just kidding. That's from a different server. Clear that out. I hope that notification was not too loud for you. I haven't quite figured out how to hush those up. But let's see, where are we here? Marvelous pigments. I think I like the idea of it being a painter, sort of a little sensitive side to it. I don't think it's going to be full of angling. That's got to be like a fishing thing, right? Angling. You can. I don't. What? Why? It's a 10-foot pole, but you could turn it into a fishing pole, so you would make it shrink. It's just there's no. What a weird item. Okay. This dude just shrink. Okay. Oh, actually, I guess you could carry around a fishing pole and then have a large pole emerge. That's a possibility. Okay, my AC just kicked on. I'm just gonna lower the mic here. Hopefully you guys don't get any of it and my voice doesn't mess up too much. I'll keep an eye on those levels. No, that's not gonna help. Sovereign glue. Okay. Okay, I don't see any particular use for that, but I mean, in this context for what we're looking for, but it's an interesting item. Very interesting. Talking doll. Maybe it's had a doll for its life and someone stole that. We'll put that away. That's an idea. Tankard of Super. Well, that just sounds sad. That's not going to function for us, but it's interesting. Well of many words. There's possibility there. Let's see what we got. Interesting. Say how large it. It doesn't say. So, oh no, here it is. 6 feet in diameter. No, that ain't gonna do it. I can just get like the tip of his nose in there. That's not gonna work. Let's see here. Okay, let's change from wondrous items to things. Okay, let's narrow it down with what we got. So we've got this big old baddie here, searching for either a talking doll, some pigments, maybe it's a painter, ear horn, home. Which the more I think about it, while I like those potential implications, going forward, I think we're going to leave that off. And this ball of telepathy is more practical. So let's group these up. We've got practical in the upper left, silly in the lower right. Well, here, we'll make a little triangle and then the talking doll. Although I don't know what the purpose of the talking doll would be. It's not particularly useful. It would have just been stolen. Versus the pigments, maybe the dreadnought is the creator of the town with the pigments, but someone stole it because of the power. Actually, I like that. That's what we're doing. Marvelous pigments is the item. Okay. Oh, so many windows. Okay. Searching for marvelous pigments. Somebody's calling straight pigments were stolen. I don't know, let's give it a timetable. Let's say like how long have these folks been suffering? 3 months. Let it go. Okay, so we're not actually created of town using the events. Has lived outside for eons, protecting and upgrading. Protecting, upgrading. And generally upgrading or carrying. Okay. is more of a benevolent side, but something has changed. Now it's turning. Let's take a look. I'm not getting any chat. Let's make sure that the chat is functioning. I think we're good on YouTube. Let's go ahead and open Twitch up. Okay, and the Twitch chat is clear. That's fine. Don't worry, it's okay to lurk, but I do very much welcome your contributions here. Cool, so that's a start. We've got items. I'm going to tuck that under, that's not too important. We do have the backstory. Okay. Now. Fine, we don't need that just at the moment. And here. Nope, 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 nope. Come on. Nope. Good. Now. Add the template here. Here we go. We're going to want to actually, before we create the town, let's create the shops. I do have these templates here. We're going to go ahead and shop, and we'll tuck that under. I'm actually straight up minimize this one. Put it off in the corner. Okay, so I think the first thing we're going to need, I'm not going to do names, so we're going to have an armory for an armor. Again, actually, I don't know why. Come back item. Go to items with all type. Good. So. I have a fairly substantial list of armor, I think. Just to okay, let's take a look at the stats again. Man, that was ill-advised, but it's just no vulnerabilities, has resistance to a lot of things, immune to a lot of things. Okay, not any sort of poisons. Not gonna have any of those. Yes, unless the players really want. But we're 4 pages of armor. This is ludicrous. Okay. All right, let's hit up the DMG. Okay. Gonna have to use this for categories here. Excellent. So my subcategory is heavy. Armor. Start with the basics, right? Got padded leather and studded. Okay, well, you know what? I'll make a module out of this. Fine. Extra armor. Okay. Yeah, there's a fan. Light armor. Sorry if this one's a little tedious. Gonna continue here. No. Just straight up play. Are out. Let's go down. Breastplate, I think, is medium. Good. Male. Breastplate. Gonna be a medium. studded leather. Pair of. Awesome. Let's run through our list anyway. On throw more interesting. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make a note. Drop those out later. So, adamantine. Let's see what that does. Versus regular breastplate. Same thing, just more. Oh, but it's also magical. Oh, no crits. Okay, cool. So we will adamant. Animated shield, probably not. Okay, yeah, sure. Animated shield, that'll be an expensive one. Narco-mechanical. That one. Cool. Various resist, probably. No difference. Oh, the off this. That's not all that useful. Never gets dirty. Well, that's nice. Really useful in this situation. Have the plus enchant. Oh, actually, you know what I should do? Make a shareable. Well, no. Demon armor. All right, tell me about this. Yeah, sure. Throw some there. Uh-oh. Okay. Dragon scale. Weapons does. Right. That's not important. Important. Sure, we'll throw Dwarven plate in there. Other right. That dude. Normal set of clothing. Interesting. I don't really useful, but if someone wants it, they can figure it out. Plates. Alright, Mithril. What do we got? Has a strength requirement. Strength requirement doesn't impose this. Okay, alright. Someone like that. Alright. Plate armor of invulnerability. Sorry, did I miss that on all of the other ones? No. Resist. Alright, yeah, well, that one's going in. Also, vulnerability. Of expression, what do we got? Missile attraction. About that, but the basic shield is moldering. Got here. Flavor. Elgar. Last page. Thanks for sticking with me. Once. Okay, just gotta check Discord real quick, see what's going on over here. Hang tight. Cool. All right. Armor. Good. Drop this. Yeah. So we can go back in. Create that. Cool. Now, what should we call this shop? This would be. Let's call this one the Master's Anvil. with the owner a little bit later, but in any case, farmer. Let us start their shop. I don't know. Let's use items again. Man, there's 5 pages. I don't know that I'll go through 5 pages necessarily. I can do that off camera. That's fine. How about the more interesting? So we need an inn, right? So for the inn and tavern. What do we call it? Come on, this is all about the ins here. Ins and the outs. So what should we call this inn? Come on, folks in the chat. Been a dead chat for the past hour, but inns are pretty fun to name. Ooh, and while I plug in my headphones, which are having a low battery, I'd love to see a name pop up. Alright, no names popping up. It's cool. Oh crap, I just lost 2 of my displays. I just lost all of my displays. Hang tight, everybody. Okay. Displays are back up. That was weird. I didn't do anything as far as I can tell, so we're just gonna run with it. Sure, why not? Okay. There. Okay, so well, that's fine. We'll just leave it unnamed. If anybody comes up with a name, let me know. We'll get back to it. So this one we're gonna have. I'm going to. Well, it doesn't really matter. Food, drink. Doesn't matter. Got an inn. Oh, the thirsty. Another T word. Go with the. Well, let's have this one tied. We'll call this one the planer painter. Cool. That's a start. Going up in this town. All right, let's get a new shop coming. Generate another. Let's have an artist. Or not. Artist. So this will. That link calls rest. Have some art. It'll be a place mainly for information. Here. now we need exactly a shop, but we need a town hall. What else do we need? We've got an inn, we've got a tavern, we've got an armor, we need a shop. Blade. I think we will have the Barb. That will be the name, but we will fill out Barb's details later. All right, let's see. What's the next one? I need tools. Trevor's useful things. Trevor. Types of potions. Apothecary. Call this one chemistry and catastrophe. Apothecary. This will be owned by Charlotte. Man, I'm going with a lot of alliterative shop owners here. That's okay. Oh. What other item types we have? Wand. Okay. Jewelers. About a wand shop. Basically anything they could possibly want. And one for magical items that are not rings. Really? So, let's delve into the wondrous items, shall we? Up in health there, that's fine. No, that one area of the plane. the apparatus in there. That is a fun item. It means it's fine. Bag. All right, and right. Oh, okay. That's not bad. All right, cool. So yeah, we'll throw a bag of tricks in there. A gray one of illusion. Okay, that's force. Why not? Okay. Cloud. Cloud is right. Got boots of elven kind. Guess if someone's trying to sneak up, that'll be useful. Feel like oh, hey, Kieran, thank you for following. Welcome to the stream. Should be a notification popping up any second now, hopefully. Because fun things happen on this channel sometimes. Unless they're broken. It could be broken. I'm going to check that. No, nothing yet. Come on, you. Bad gateway. Oh, good. Streamlabs is down. Well, welcome, Kieran. Cannot. Maybe. Let's see here. Throw a follow. Tell me anything. Alright, well, it looks like Streamlabs is down. That's fine. Sorry you didn't get your notification, but thank you for joining. Jumping. Yeah, we'll give them some of those. There's going to be so many things here. Approach of shielding. I don't think I want to give them fire elementals. That'll be a problem. Fly. What is camp? Well, don't need. Teleporting. Maybe they want a carpet. Hello. Good. Cloak of elven. That. Into a bat. Yeah, someone might want to have some fun with that. This one might be a little more open. Probably be a good idea to. Probably be a good. So, if there's anything that you think would be interesting. What is the elephant? Yeah. Ogre. Ah. A whole lot of that. Probably goggles of night. That. Yep, I think that'll be cool. Okay, Horn of Blasting, that could be cool. Not gonna go with any of the Valhalla. That's a little much. Iron Flask just... Oh, nope, that's not gonna be... Nope, we're not doing that one. Until spell resistance, that'll be good. Keep wants to cast any spells. By anyone, I mean this Dreadnought that I'm working with. The Marvelous Pick. That. Up to the prayer beat. Oh, interesting. I don't really want to flesh that much. Wound close. Want that for sure. Type of smoke monsters. Alright, that is an awesome item. At least an awesome item name. Let's see what it does. Use an action to exhale a puff. Takes the form of a creature. A 1-foot cube. That's it. It just makes creatures out of smoke. Alright, well that's cool, but not particularly useful. That's not going to be too interesting. Dazzling lights. Okay, that could be used. Row of stars. Straight up magic missile robe. I guess there's only 3 pages of this. This isn't too Magi. Maybe, so we might want that. We'll have to fix prices. So I'm looking at going for a little over a half an hour here, so 35.5 minutes. We'll make this a 2-hour stream. So thank you for joining, everybody. And we will probably resume this maybe next weekend. I'll try to flesh out some of the details that we started with here, maybe write a little bit on the backstory, put together some of these item menus, and probably affix some prices. Next time we're going to start looking at NPCs, I think. So once I flesh out some of these shops, we'll move on to the NPC who owns them, and at some point we'll start looking at information, because ultimately we want the party to be able to research this Dreadnought and you know, find out what makes it tick. Maybe they don't have to beat up on it, so this is entirely beatable. I don't know, maybe by level 5 or level 6, that's probably decent enough. That would be probably about 1 session's worth of content, I'm estimating at this point, but that could be way off. But ultimately, it's up to the players on whether they want to try to grind it out to beat this thing, or to try to find some weaknesses and some backstory elements that might help them make sense of the situation and deal with it in a different way. So that's sort of the general plan. So we'll look at more sessions of this. I'll see what we do. And yeah, we'll just keep chugging along here, finding interesting items or useful items. Sure, that sounds interesting. Someone might jump on that. They might want to climb. Might want to try that, though I don't think it'll work given the size. Might have someone who wants more mage stuff. What was that, the scarab? Oh, what is going on? Come on. Sure, we'll go with that. Well, maybe they'll want to copy something for one of the. Not giving them a sphere of annihilation that much. Give them sovereign clue of the sphere. It's gonna be a sphere. Yep. With the these are the not gonna get those out. Solving to go with that. What is the veterans key? Long short, I don't. That'll be particularly useful, but wheels. Really useful. Wind fan. What does that do? Gust of wind spell. Okay. What does gust of wind do? Active flames dance wildly. That's not useful at all. No wind fan. Winged boots. Flies. They might buy wings. Cool. Oh, hang on. Did I ever post the link there? I did. Okay. Cool. So we've got magical items. We're gonna drop this note in here. Great. I'll see you later. Now we have all these shops in the town, which again I will populate that town probably by the next one. Hopefully I have the time this week, but we'll see. But this quest giver, we should figure out who this quest giver is before we go. Now he needs to be somebody, or she, or they, whatever it is, need to be somewhat significant. My initial thought is maybe a mayor, or maybe some well-connected, maybe one of the shop owners, right? So maybe the artist. But again, you're painting 3D objects, so that would be a little much. It's a little powerful for just the artist, although it is a new medium. So I'm thinking potentially quest giver. Oops. Possibly mayor. The mayor, come on, you. By you, I mean me. All right, so the mayor, the artist. Who would I say that? What's that? Linkala. Who else would have use for or want some paints that allow you to paint in 3D and create very large things? Someone dealing in construction, like a construction contractor. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, so we actually have a lot of artisans around. We don't have a general store. Although what the general store would have with all of these specialists around doesn't really make any sense, right? So, or rather with all these artisans. Oh, you know, we do need a consignment shop. in case they want to sell any of their items. Although, did I specify that items don't carry? I think I did. Let me check my basics. Oops, that's the right one. There we go. Brought back to the industry with all of their memories, but only their starting equipment. Okay, so that's not entirely useful. Like a consignment shop. So let's not add that in. So I'm sorry. Don't mean to go crazy with that silence there. So what I'm thinking is I'm just trying to think through the party experience. So they wake up for what's that worth, that's worth, and they go through the gates. They meet quest giver, be it probably the mayor or the artist. The construction contractor, I think, wouldn't necessarily be the quest giver. So there's a possibility. So maybe it's not that the quest giver stole it, unless it's like the mayor who wanted power, then they could act as a quest giver. Or no, probably not the artist either. Yeah. So I think if the quest giver is going to be the thief that sort of caused this whole thing, oh, we need some sort of church here, some sort of yeah, something on the religious side of things, because clerics, right? So that one. So we need a church or a chapel. EL, thank you. Cool. So we've got a chapel. Excellent. What other things should a town have? So there's that. I want to think the mayor, that seems too cliche, right? Though, so like the mayor is the person that stole it. So maybe the mayor is the quest giver. So we'll make this a somebody. So open up another note here. So many notes going on. Make this one a little larger. So this will be the party experience, right? So they wake up. Gates of town. Now, which is the afterlife. Meet. Let's say this is a strange occurrence. So why don't they meet the head of the guard? Or the guard captain, as it were. Try to take them to the mayor. It's there. Oh, you know what? Let's say that the party is an old adventuring party. That has potential. So the party is an adventure party. Just experience. Okay. So they're used to adventuring. However, the afterlife is works different. So start at level 1. Cool. Mayor gets their qualifications and tasks them with excuse me. And task them with leading the town of the not. Now, everyone's essentially immoral here, right? So they would probably remember a time when the Dreadnought was good and was helpful. I guess if the party asks, right? So that might not be something that is volunteer. Bring the town of the Dreadnought and briefs them on the nightly behavior. Then we will say they get 1 round of prep, and then Dreadnought counter spawn, get 2 rounds of prep, and then Dreadnought counter. You know, I think if they decide to rest and not deal with the Dreadnought, they should not level up. Let's see, is there a space in there or so? Passing the night by resting will not up. Okay. And then they cool. Until resolution. Ooh, I'm losing displays again. Not great. Hang tight. You know, I think I got a couple loose cords. Hang on, go now. Awesome, that's exactly what it was. Where's my chair? Them loose power cords, right? Alright, so that's our party experience note. Gotta move some windows here. Okay, so good. Okay. Lost my train of thought there. Where were we? For the player experience. Okay, so let's work on our get a little start on the class, on making up our class stuff. So note class trees, and we'll peel off a class now. Classes. So we'll start with barbarian. Look at the handbook. Xanath. Look at some of these totems. Totems, come on, you. Where? Paths. Here we go. Got Ancestral Guardian, Storm Herald, Zealot, Berserker, and the Totem Warrior. Wow. Alright, so I'm going to narrow this down to spiritual journey. Okay. We've got someone on a spiritual journey. That's just our straight worker. Basic. Zealot barbarian. Let's say primal magic. Okay, so. Okay, no. Alright. That could be good. The ancestral guardian, which is a little more defense. Okay, so what if we go with a farm hair? Be a little bit different. I think. That's all elemental help. Distant. I think we're going to go back to Berserker and Guardians. So the Berserker. Ancestral Guardian. Nice. Right, so top of the descriptions here. You know what? Let's just actually going to need both of these. Come on, kill me. Alright, structure. Okay, so offense. We've got defensive-ish. Okay, so Guardian. Those are what we want to use. Now, we need to, or I need to in any case, do that. Oh, cool. Okay, so I can just simplify this. Berserker, awesome. This one. Ancestral Guardian. Now, here's the key. I want to pare these down, right? So we want to simplify this skill tree. some of these have choice. I just don't know how they're parsed, so we're gonna play around. Starting it. Okay, that's no big. Start. Good. I'm gonna run through these and see what the choices. Just add on. Huh? Cool. Worker, make that same update. Of course. Now, for taking this on tabletop, I realize some of these things are very. I'm using Fantasy Grounds, by the way. I know that some of these things that I'm doing are particular for the Fantasy Grounds linking. Sort of using it as a quick reference to a lot of things because it does automatically calculate a bunch. Except for those options where you need to make a choice, right? So I'm counting on this to highlight where I need to make a choice so that I can, in fact, make a choice for the players coming up, especially for the new ones. Again, this is another thing that should take it off. Now, for the tabletop version, what I'm going to end up doing is basically making a list, right? So I'm going to make a list of what changes from one level to the next so that they can just take it into account. This is for my new players. If somebody more experienced wanted to run this, I would expect them to know more or less what direction they want to go and not spend 3 hours on a level up, because ideally I want to go through about 3 levels per session or more. It really depends on the players, but I want it to be quick, just like you respawn, you now gain a level kind of situation. So, Barbarian is all set. We want to put that into our class tree. Excellent. Bard class. Okay. We will Bard class. Valor and Hammer Whisper. Got a new viewer, so welcome. Take a look at the basics. Feel free to chat. And make suggestions, comments, anything you can think about. You're on Twitch, so I think we've got someone over on YouTube as well. You guys can chat back and forth. The chat does, so feel free to chat it up. Okay, so lore. Storytellers. Skills. Really. Alright, that is a badass bard, just saying. That is all. Okay. Looking at. I'm not actually familiar with this particular specialization. Okay. Temporary hit points. Bards. Skills. Which might actually be good. So let's see what we got here. Whisper. That way. The fighting bard for cat versus a skilly bard. Cutting words. Subtract the number rolled. Almost defensive skill base. The bards are. Go with lore and swords. So many good bard specialists. Okay. This one here we have bard of swords. Those. All right, what's next? Clerics. Oh, this one, wow, look at all the clerics. I think we will wrap after we sort out our cleric here. Then once again, this one won't have a schedule. This series is going to be an as I have time series. But I'm hoping to get in one a week, so stay tuned for the notifications. Click that little follow button. If you would like to receive those notifications, join in the next time. Tell your friends. If you have any friends who play D&D or are interested in D&D or know a lot of stuff about things, get them in here. I would love to hear from them. I would love to get a little more collaboration and see what you guys think of what I'm putting together here. I know there are some really boring moments. I'm going to work on that, try to work out a bunch of the stuff ahead of time. We can start to talk about these things, but especially these class trees. There are a number of classes that I haven't actually played that I would love to get your input on if you have played them. So let me know, and we can focus in on those. So we're looking at clerics with the different domains. Oh my, so many domains. Okay. Let's take a look at this order domain real quick. Maybe we can just. No, I think I did make an order domain. I've just never actually played him. Forge. You know what, let's not do cleric. Cleric is going to be a list, and move on to. I think is a little simple. Right. Okay. Spores, dreams, shepherd, and lamb. That's not right. Is there like a circle of the moon? Where the hell is that? Okay. Okay, so house of land. So circle and moon is your beast transformations. If I circle of land, cantrip. What are your okay? That's sort of general. I think circle of the moon is hard, yes, because that's like the big druid tropes is being able to. How about spores? Spores is kind of neat. Dead side of this is a healer. Okay. That has and the shepherd. Still really terribly useful. Advantage X source. Yeah, I think we're gonna go with dreams and moon. Of dreams. All right. Oh. Still down. Swords of Great. Okay. That's okay. We are almost done here. Just wrapping up. And thank you so much for stopping by. Save it. Druid note. Those are list. Fantastic. All right. That is a good place to stop it. Again, I'm going to try to get some more of the details in before we go next time, so it won't be just so much, you know, necessarily reading, but I'd love to get your collaboration. If you got anybody that's interested, please refer them to the stream. They can give a follow even when I'm not streaming. It's just Markali. You're all here. You should all be able to see Markali somewhere on the page. So thank you once again. Refer your friends. Let's get this built, and thank you for stopping by.